welcome to the weekend. The weekend is here and we are back with another F1 Manager 24 stream and back with our Team Lotus series here in year 3 2026 and now on race 4. So today's live stream is from Bahrain, the full Bahrain race. Zach, thanks for the rose, buddy. Straight in with the rose, much appreciated, buddy. Yes, so today's stream is the full race in Bahrain. And as you can see, we have qualified P1, P2, so it's another 1-2. So there's a few strategies that we're playing around with. This ultimately worked out to be the quickest round here, which is 2 sets of softs and a set of mediums. So 2 stopping with both drivers, and they're both going for the exact same strategy in terms of starting on the softs, medium stint on the softs, and then we will finish on the medium tyres. So with that said, I think it's time to just get straight in and jump into this one. So Alonso on pole, Ricciardo P2. Let's crack on and start this Bahrain Grand Prix. And if you already jumped in the chat, thanks for jumping in. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're ready for the weekend. Let us crack on.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. And with his helmet on, that trademark smile
this long old
is gone.
January month is nearly over. We've got less than, I think it's actually less than 2 months till actual Formula 1 now.
But could they even sneak the win?
Asak, thanks for the follow, much appreciated, buddy.
Here we go. It's time to go racing.
Right, here we go then.
And this is it. The Bahrain Grand Prix.
Bahrain, round 4 of this 2026 season. And it's Alonso from pole.
Lights out, and away we go.
Danny Rick from P2. Looked to be a good start from Danny Rick, but Alonso's going to hold on to it. And Lewis Hamilton, he's got a good launch. And looks like he's going to be around the outside of Ricciardo, although Ricciardo will have the inside here. But if Hamilton holds it on, he'll then have the inside for this left-hander. And looks like Hamilton has moved himself up to P2 then off the start. But Ricciardo not giving it up, and he got much better traction and reclaims P2. Hi, Atty. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you've had a good week. Lucas, hi, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So, opening lap, let's have a look at tyres. And the top 4, all on the soft tyres. Sainz looked like he started on a bit of a scrub set, though, at 89%. Piastri mediums, Bottas, Leclerc softs. Majority of the grid on softs. No hard runners, and no surprise at that, I do hate the hard tyre in Bahrain. Is that Lotus? It is indeed. It is indeed Lotus. And thanks for the follow as well, buddy. But yes, we are Team Lotus. Is Ricciardo going to have a go on Alonso early on here? Ricciardo on the outside of Alonso. That's brave. Danny Rick has done it, though. Into the lead of the race. But Alonso is now going to get a nice slipstream. Ricciardo covering off early the inside. Our 2 teammates going for it on this opening lap. Oh, that was twitchy indeed there.
The car behind.
As Alonso reclaims the lead, but we very nearly came together. He's got DRS to pull away a bit there.
And try to cool down the tyres while you can. It's slightly coming up.
Atty going well, flying fin here. Calper lost just. Yep. Sorry to hear that, buddy.
Cool tyres.
How is Verstappen 12th? Did Red Bull make an awful car this year? Yeah, I think they're actually, early on anyway, I think they were the 9th car on the grid. 9th out of 11th Red Bull. So, yeah, they've started with a bit of a tractor in 2026 here. But Sainz is in P4 saying that, so... bye-bye, I need to go shower. Enjoy that shower, Atty. Enjoy it. So it's Alonso P1, Ricciardo P2, Hamilton P3, Sainz P4, Piastri momentarily dropping out of the DRS here. Atty, see you next live. Yeah, thanks for dropping in, buddy. See you next time. Ricciardo shaping up to have another go here. Both due to stop on lap 20, so we probably need to extend or coming a little bit earlier with one of them because we don't want to double stack if they are right with each other. But Ricciardo, look to the inside. He's going to cross over to the outside then. On Fernando Alonso. And again, they're very close through that corner. But Ricciardo will take the lead. But Alonso is going to have the DRS to come straight back at him here. And Alonso... Ricciardo's still on the outside, but Alonso reclaims the lead. So our two teammates fighting hard here early on. That means Hamilton and Sainz and the rest of them are staying with us. F1 should look like this, yeah. Be good if it was this tight, but who knows? Who knows what 2025 will bring? I think it is going to be a tighter grid. Oh, through the inside, Ricciardo has another look, but Alonso defends. So is this costing us fighting this hard? No, not really, because Hamilton and Sainz are absolutely obliterating their tyres there. So actually, we're absolutely fine. But yeah, Formula 1, I think less than 2 months now. I can't wait till this 2025 season. Alonso and Ricciardo fighting again, and again it's very tight through that first corner. And Ricciardo now leads. But again, Alonso will have the DRS. Is he going to do what he did last time and just take that position straight back? It's a lot tighter this time. Ricciardo on the outside might get better traction. And he does stay in the lead of this race. John, thanks for the follow. Up to you, but me personally would set it to where they don't fight each other so you can get a gap built. Yeah, the only problem is Ricciardo and Alonso are probably going to be in a championship battle with each other. So I could kind of let them not fight. But I don't want one of them to pull away from the other, if that makes sense. So we'll let it go for another couple of laps, but if we're still not got a gap behind us, then we will have to ask them not to fight and just hopefully pull away with each other. Because I think you're right, these continuous overtakes are slowing them up, which is allowing Hamilton to stay in the DRS. LGK, thanks for the follow, hope you're well, buddy. And if you're jumping into the stream, you like what you see, please do smash that like button, really does help me out. It really is appreciated. And is this going to be the same yet again? Hamilton's just stayed far on the outside there. Who's World Driver Champion at the moment? This is 2026 season. Valtteri Bottas won the Drivers' Championship in 2025 and Mercedes won the Constructors. And Ricciardo and Alonso continue to battle them. Now, Ricciardo actually got the DRS to pull away there. Yeah, these Hamilton and Sainz already in the 60% range on their softs. Zach with another rose. Thank you, buddy. And another. Too kind, buddy. Yeah, the rumour mill in F1 really is hotting up, isn't it? I did see the Verstappen story, but I think that's been rubbished now in terms of Aston offering Verstappen £1 billion, but I think that has been denied by Aston. But you wouldn't be surprised. And here we go with our two drivers. Star, thanks for the follow. Aritra, what's Alonso's team? He's driving for our team, which is Team Lotus. As you can see it here. Here we go. He's going to get DRS. I think after these 2 straights, we'll ask them not to fight, although we've nearly got that second to Hamilton.
On DRS, behind. Yeah, go on.
Ricciardo covers off the inside. Alonso's going to flip over to the outside. Longer way around, but ooh, again, this is where they get so close. I think we do just need to ask them not to fight for a couple of laps, and then they can get back on it. Because where we're fighting on that first corner, it's just sort of a concertina effect. And it's bringing Hamilton and the rest of them close enough to stay in that DRS. So let's just ask them to not fight for a couple of laps. And already that gap is extending 1.3. So we want to keep it over a second, of course. So Hamilton and the cars behind don't have DRS on us. Look at Bottas. He's really struggled this season. He is the reigning world champion, of course. But he has, I think, only picked up 2 points maybe this season. So high flying for Bottas in P5 in this race. And another gift from Zach. Thank you, buddy.
Straight into management.
Okay.
But yeah, as I say, the rumour with Aston, but as I say, I think they've denied that. Although Stroll has certainly got the money to splash out. We've got a yellow flag. Looks like K-Mag has had a bit of a journey. And it is K-Mag. Magnussen then.
13.
He's last now. He wasn't last though before this.
Oh, and the car locks up.
Big lock up at the front right.
The car by that.
And K-Mag drops down to last then. How many races to go? This is only the 4th race of 2026, so there'll be 20 races of this season after this race. And we still, even though they're not fighting, still not broken away yet from this the rest of these cars behind us. What's the best upgrades to do to get the car to have good race pace? DRS, it depends. If you've not got any technical regulation changes for next year, then you can just concentrate on design. I would always say underfloor is one of the best elements you can design, but focus on cornering speed. So we've got another yellow flag. Looks like it might have been a crash this time.
It's a fairly heavy accident.
Bortoletto and Lawson, our ex-teammate Lawson, in the wars here. Oh, in the inside, and Sloppy there come together. Will either of them get a penalty, or will that be a racing incident there? Noah, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Nothing flashing up about penalties, so we'll wait and see on that one. But yeah, if you're playing the game, you want to design the car, then always concentrate on cornering speed. So as I say, underfloor, go near enough max on your high, medium, low speed cornering. And no penalties given them for that incident between Lawson and Bortoletto. But yeah, Hamilton's still staying in our DRS. So yeah, design work, focus on the underfloor. Then you can do all parts, to be fair. I would do underfloor, use a lot of your CFD. You could even use all your CFD and wind tunnel time on one underfloor, and then do a follow-up underfloor. And that will give you a good buff. Then probably front wing after that. Again, focusing on cornering speed. But let's say if you have technical changes, technical regulation changes for the next year, then focus on research specifically for those parts. How do you have 2 teams? I don't have 2 teams, Matty. I only have Team Lotus. Oh, right, sorry, Audi. Yes, so that's a mod. So I play on PC, Matty, so just modded in Audi. So they are an AI team. But because we're in 2026, we've brought Audi onto the grid. I'm in 2025 in Ferrari, and they're really good in Bahrain and fell off in Jeddah. Yeah, if you look at the your design, I think it's in the car analysis screen, it'll show the upcoming races, and it'll show the what suits that racetrack. So whether it's a high speed, medium speed, or low speed track. So it might be that where you're finding a difference in performance across track to track, it's because your car might be really well suited to high speed. So if that's the case, then do a little bit more work on improving your low speed cornering. What did you get it on? The mods are on, I think it's overtake.gg, I believe it is, May. Right, so lap 9 then, Alonso continues to lead, Ricciardo's there, but as I've said, the grid is a lot closer to us, the fourth race of the season. The first 3, we pretty much dominated, but we're 9 laps in here, and Hamilton has stayed with us. He has abused his tyres, of course, a lot more. They're definitely a lot closer to us here in Bahrain. Did you have to pay? No, they're all free, Matty, on there. Pits soon. We're on lap 20 for pits, so we've got quite a while to go. But of course, if our drivers stay together, then we're going to have to decide who pits first. Well, that's an easy decision. Whoever's in first will get the treatment of being out of box first, but we, of course, not allowing them to fight at the moment, so we will allow them to fight again in a few more laps. But as I say, we have just not dropped Hamilton here, have we? But he will have to box soon. Actually, we've got the best tyres on the grid, so everyone is pushing pretty hard. But yeah, we had the Aston Martin and Max rumours this week. I think also if you're a Ferrari or Lewis fan, I believe his Angela, who worked with at Mercedes, they haven't worked with each other for, is it last year or 2 years? There's rumours that they will be reunited in Ferrari as well. What else have we had this week in the world of Formula 1? Colapinto was last week, wasn't it? At Alpine, I believe. Or was it early this week? We discussed that on Tuesday's stream, though. Right, Piastri's got past Hamilton here. And now maybe they're starting to drop off the pace here. So it's now 2 seconds to Piastri, who's in third. Hamilton fourth, Bottas fifth. No pit stops yet. So is this just going to be a battle between our two teammates today? Tyre life very similar. Ricciardo's, well, they're actually the same now. Ricciardo did have 1% better tyres, but that's now changed to 69% each.
Okay.
So we're due to pit lap 20 with both, but as I say, we'll have to allow one of the drivers in before the other if they're this close. Of course, if we get a gap between our drivers, we can double stack, but we'd need at least 2.5 seconds really to do that. But Piastri is coming back at us here. He's on 63%, but he's on the mediums. Hamilton's probably going to pit in the next lap or two, as Sainz is pitting now. I think Carlos Sainz was the first to pit in Japan, wasn't he? So that Red Bull and Sainz do like an early pit stop. And he is the first into the box here then, in Bahrain. Of course, we're back to a Melbourne opener, an Australian Grand Prix opening weekend, which I much prefer. But maybe it's where you sort of grew up, what era you grew up watching Formula 1. I guess if you're a relatively new fan, you'll be used to Bahrain always being the opener. But for me, it was always Australia. Getting up early in the morning if you're from the UK like myself. And the season starts there. But it's been Bahrain for, well, a long old time now, but we go back to Australia in real life in 2025 for the opener. And there he is, Piastri's got DRS now. So, very much in this race, you'd have to say. Although we do, as I say, we do have the tyre advantage. I'm probably expecting Lewis to pit at the end of this lap. If not, certainly by the end of next lap. What is the pit loss here? It's basically 24 seconds. Though we have been finding this hasn't been too accurate, has it? This estimated pit stop time. But yeah, if you stopped now, you'd be coming out in front of Sainz. So it must be Sainz and Magnussen that has stopped, and it is. Yeah, that's a very early stop for Sainz, isn't it? Very early.
Only just on DRS this
And
time.
Bottas stops. Hamilton didn't stop.
Okay, stop it.
So there's a few early stops here. Oh, it's a slow front right for Valtteri. That's a slow stop. I think Sainz was... Is he behind him? Prior to the stop, I believe. But he's probably going to be ahead of him after this stop now. Bottas about to get up to speed, and there goes Carlos Sainz. So that's not worked out for Valtteri Bottas. Right, Piastri's with us, so it's the top 3 now, and Piastri has been sort of sniffing around us in these first 3 races. He was very much in Australia, and he was there for a little while in China. But he's back again, so Piastri making a case for best of the rest. Tsunoda, obviously he's been doing well as well, but he's in 6th, or now 5th, getting past Hamilton, but that is by virtue of Sainz and Bottas stopping, so we'll see where Tsunoda ends up in all this. What's his tyres? Tsunoda is on the softs, but he's got good tyre advantage over Leclerc. And he's right on Charles. Right, well, we'll give it another couple laps, and then we'll allow our drivers to continue the fight. Because I don't think we're going to be able to shake Piastri here. And then whoever is ahead on lap 19 will box first. That is the rule we're going to put in place. As Leclerc pits. Hamilton only now stopping. He went too long, Hamilton, there. He lost a lot of positions. Hulkenberg in the pits as well. So Tsunoda's up to 4th, but he's going longer on this first stint. So he might be able to do a bit of an overcut. Maybe not on this first stint, but the second stint. Matty, it makes me pay for overtake to get... no, they're definitely free on there, buddy. Unless it's changed, but I mean, I got the Audi one only a couple of weeks ago. Tom Dales, how's it going, buddy? Good to have you back. And of course, if you're watching the stream, you haven't already, please do smash a like on the stream. Really does help me out. So Lawson and Bortoletto had that incident. They didn't stop. They've been running that damage. Right, let's allow these to fight again now, because we're not really dropping Piastri.
Yep.
So they are free to fight. So Ricciardo, you would have to think, is going to try one down the inside here on Fernando Alonso. And then it's going to change to the outside. Here we go. This is what we're seeing in the early phases. And Ricciardo reclaims the lead then in Bahrain. And he gets DRS to pull away. Is this his chance to try and break the DRS to his teammate? No, I don't think so, because Alonso is right up his gearbox. There's quite a few pit stops happening now then. Danny Rick, the latest of the late breakers. He is indeed. Or he was, we'll have to say. Kind of lost him in the later stages of his F1 career. But prime Danny Rick, certainly the latest of the late breakers.
Alonso will have DRS.
He is an F1 manager, yeah. Very true, very true. Right, Alonso and Ricciardo then are going to continue to swap positions here. You viewed, evening buddy, how's it going? Hope you're keeping well. Funny enough, now we've asked them to fight, we're starting to drop Piastri, which we would have thought that would have been the other way around when we weren't fighting and trying to build a gap, but there we go. What's going on down the rest of the grid then? We've probably got Tsunoda in at the end of this lap, you'd have to imagine. Verstappen, Perez, Gasly, Lawson. There's going to be quite a few pit stops at the end of this lap as Ricciardo going to reclaim the lead, but it will give DRS to Fernando Alonso in the next DRS zone. As we see those pit stops now taking place, so we're going to have a nice gap when we do finally pit. Although, of course, they may be undercutting us, so we might be a few cars ahead of us, we'll see. But the tyre advantage is going to be massive, really. I still remember his first win in Canada Light was the other day, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, Danny Rick was so good in that Red Bull and just... I mean, he wasn't too bad at Renault, but I think, you know, he's kind of dreaming that they were going to be a bit of a Lewis to Mercedes kind of thing, and it never really worked, and downhill from there. Although, of course, he did win for McLaren in Monza, but
Update on tires when you can.
it was, yeah, never really there for him after that. What could have been if he stayed at Red Bull? Would he just been dominated by Max? Who knows? Not bad, thanks. Keeping well. Got a cold again. Other than that, it's good. It is the cold season. You viewed. Hopefully you feel better soon. James, yes, he would have. Right, so 3.4 to Piastri now. And let's say it's about a 24-second stop. So, yes, Sainz may be ahead of us
On Alonso has
when we
DRS.
stop. And Ricciardo and Alonso, just hope our two teammates don't end up colliding here. That's the only problem, allowing them to fight for this long. Although Max is the toughest contender on the grid, his car placement ability is ahead of the rest. Yeah, I mean, he's not an easy teammate to have, is he? Max Verstappen. And it's going to be very interesting how Lawson does. I don't think he's going to be competing with Max, but you've got to compare him to Perez's results.
Difficult to get close, mate.
Keep your head down.
Danny Rick should have stayed at Renault, went downhill when he went to McLaren. Yeah, just... as you said, the car design and how that car worked at McLaren just really didn't suit him, and then I think it just snowballed into a loss of confidence, and yeah, he never really got it back. You never know, Liam might be like Lewis at McLaren. You never know. You got true, you never know. I very much doubt it, but you never know. I think, as was said on this stream before, you know, they're just looking for consistent points from Lawson. You know, Perez was getting knocked out Q1, Q2. They just want Lawson, if they've got the car, of course, get it into Q3. I think they'd be happy if he's finishing anywhere between 4th and 8th every race. They don't really want a teammate putting it on Max, because that just causes all teammate issues, such as, you know, your Rosberg, Lewis incidents. James, he won't compete with Max, but this season will be interesting with 7 rookies out there, 6 newcomers and Lance. Yes, Lance Stroll remains on the grid. Why is that, do we think? I wonder. But no, I'm looking forward to 2025. 2024, as we know, the grid was static. Apart from a few in-season changes, but from the end of 2023 to 24, static grid. But yeah, we've got plenty of change this year. Still can't quite imagine Lewis Hamilton being in red, but it's going to be here soon. Right, 3 more laps, and then we'll be making our first pit stop. Ricciardo and Alonso continue to battle away. Imagine if Drugovic could go in the Aston. I think he's so talented. I mean, there's a lot of talented drivers that, unfortunately, that is the one thing with Formula 1. You've got money, if you've got sponsorship, or you've got, you know, a wealthy family, or you've got a wealthy dad, then someone that is not as good as others can keep you out of the sport, which is a shame, but it's always kind of, well, certainly in recent history has been the way. Is Alonso going to have a go then? They pretty much keep changing lap by lap. I've dropped Piastri by 6.7. I think he's probably conserving his tyres. His medium's down to 39%. Yeah, Sainz and Charles are going to be ahead of us, I think, when we stop. And Bottas might be as well. Tsunoda might even be. But we're going to have a big tyre difference on them, so I'm not concerned about that. As Alonso claims the lead. So as I said, whoever leads on lap 19, they will stop first. For us, they will get the preferential treatment. You viewed I'm a McLaren guy as you are, but well, I guess it's been a Finnish and British driver before in the era you remember. But another Brazilian is needed. Yeah, no Brazilians. Yeah, Brazilian was a mainstay on the grid for quite a while. Of course, Senna, but Barrichello was here for quite some time, and then obviously Felipe.
It's a time management where you can.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head who we've got on the grid this year. Tom, yes, of course, Bortoleto. Bortoleto's on the grid. He's Brazilian. So we'll have Bortoleto. I'm trying to think what other South Americans are on the grid. But yeah, great shout there, Tom. Bortoleto, of course, rookie this season, but he is very much Brazilian the last time I checked.
Did just get the RS.
All right, Alonso leads then, lap 19. And this is what we said. Lap 19 would get the treatment. We'll go next lap.
So box this lap.
Okay, box.
Colapinto after about 5 races be on the grid. Yeah. He's South American. He very much is the Argentine. Yeah, a lot of people thinking that, isn't it? As I say, I think it's a bit harsh. I don't have an opinion either way on Jack Doohan, but it seems like he's under pressure without having a race in 2025. As Ricciardo takes a position back off Alonso, but we've already made the decision, so we'll continue to let them fight. On his you viewed, everyone needs to remember George Russell. Yes, he won a championship, but it was his wealthy father that got him along the way as well. On his way up to F1, Bortoleto, he is Alonso's managed driver, right? Yeah, Fernando Alonso does manage Bortoleto. And talking about Bortoleto, he's just developed a mechanical fault. Is this real? It's not real, Luca, but you can make it real. You can believe it's real. I think Briatore is going to treat Doohan like he treated Button. Yeah, Flavio, I mean, that's kind of what people are... It kind of has the feeling that Flavio doesn't want Doohan. And now he's in the team. And then they've signed Colapinto and spent a bit of money on him, so... Well, obviously, the best thing that Doohan can do is arrive at Melbourne and in 2025 and just grind out the results. If he's performing, then he gives them no reason to replace him. Who knows? He might put Pierre Gasly under pressure. I mean, I do rate Colapinto. Yes, he had a few accidents, but I think it's kind of, he's trying too hard. But I think, where he wasn't having those accidents, he showed really good pace, and he was, he's putting it on Albon. So I think it's just a good learning curve for him if he can keep it clean, error-free. But here we go then, Fernando Alonso. Our first stop of the day, and we are going to come out behind a few cars here. And it's 2.5 stop, not the quickest, but that's fine. Let's get Danny Rick in this lap as well. Where is Fernando going to come out?
Speed limiter off.
Box.
Okay. I'll box this lap.
Oh, it would have been nice to get out ahead of Hulkenberg, but that's not going to happen. What about Verstappen and Hamilton? Oh, although it is going to happen there. Alonso puts the afterburners on.
Norris ahead. Gap is at 5.7.
Hulkenberg, of course, his tyres up to 10.
Behind is Hulkenberg.
So Hulkenberg does squeeze past us. Alonso just got to get these tyres up to temperature. Might be worth just attacking just to get a bit of temp in there.
So you've got Hulkenberg ahead.
As Ocon's developed a mechanical fault. Quite severe. Is this going to help Danny Rick here? Alonso getting bogged down in some traffic. I don't know if it will, because I think Hulkenberg and this group of cars are going quicker than Danny Rick anyway. Yeah, by nearly more than 3 seconds on the last lap. And here comes Alonso. He's had enough of that. And he's back through on Hulkenberg. And hopefully he'll be able to retain that position now. Right, Ricciardo.
Daniel pit lane.
Into stop then. Hopefully another clean stop from our pit crew. 2.5 again, so at least that's fair for the two teammates battling away here.
We will be close to Alonso at the pit exit.
Pierre Hamlin telling Danny Rick he's going to be close to Fernando on the pit exit. There's Fernando. There's Danny Rick. I think Fernando's going to be clear, and I think Danny Rick might be behind all three of these cars, will he?
So Q&T
No, he gets out behind Hulkenberg, but ahead of Verstappen and Hamilton. So that's key. Right, so where are we at now? As everyone's stopped, but everyone ahead of us stopped a lot earlier, so we should comfortably clear these once they make their next stop. But it's going to be interesting to see what the final stints look like, because we are 10 seconds off the lead now, 11 seconds. So a bit of work to do, 5.8 until we get up to Lando Norris. Tommy sees Colapinto as the next Alonso. Yeah, potentially. I reckon Alpine will morph into high-tech GP. Yeah, Alpine's a weird one, obviously, with disbanding their Renault engines, going to Mercedes. I can see Alpine selling that team eventually. But who knows? They have brought Flavio Briatore in. It seems to... obviously, he'll take it a lot more seriously in terms of... he's very competitive and a winner. And a cheat, unfortunately. Well, there we go. That's for another day. Right, Ricciardo. Same with Alonso. We do need to get those tyres up to temp, but they are near enough there now.
Tires in the working range.
We're going to be under pressure here from Verstappen. I think we might be. So this could be Alonso's chance to pull a little bit of a gap on Danny Rick. Daniel Ricciardo survives there. Going to give him a bit of battery to deploy here.
On click overtake this.
Pierre Gasly all the way down in 18th for Audi, setting the fastest lap of the race. Right, Ricciardo's used that bit of battery and got him up to Hulkenberg. To be honest, I think we need about 15 teams on the grid, but there's just not enough space at most circuits. Yeah, I can't see that happening anytime soon. As Ricciardo on the inside then of Hulkenberg, and he did that after the detection zone, so to get the DRS to pull away. So very nice from Danny Rick.
Alrighty. Nice.
So this is what happened.
Here we go then, Ricciardo clearing Hulkenberg on board.
There's the
Detection
opening.
zone already taken, and then on the inside, DRS, there we go,
And
to help him pull
Ricciardo
away.
moves up the field.
Yeah, the 15 teams, I can't see that happening because how long it took for them to accept Andretti or Cadillac, General Motors, whatever it's going to be. But I think the sport is growing and growing, so therefore there want to be more people involved in it. So I can certainly see it growing to 12 teams on the grid, probably, but not immediately, probably another 5, even 10 years. I think it'll take a while for them to accept another one. Flavio was team boss of Enstone Benetton when Schumacher took Hill out to win the 94 championship. Yes. And Schumacher tried to repeat the feat on Villeneuve, wasn't it? Jacques. And disqualified. I think that's the things with drivers, you know, even if you're not a Max fan, I'm not a Max fan, but I think when it's happening now, you know, he's classed as dirty and all the rest of it, but there's always been drivers in history that have been that way. You know, Senna to a degree was very aggressive. Schumacher, very aggressive. You know, in those examples of Hill and Villeneuve, you know, he was on the border of, you know, he can't accept losing, and that's kind of what Max has got. Sometimes it brings out the worst in them, but as I always say, it would be a boring grid if Max wasn't on it, in my opinion. Okay, lap 24 then. It's Charles that leads. Ricciardo is 7th, Alonso 6th, so they're back behind one another. Alonso has got a second and a half to his teammate as it stands. Sainz is making his second stop then, so that's going to clear a car out of our way. Alonso's still 3.4 off Lando. Might be a bit more once we get past Sainz. So I wonder if some cars are free stopping here, because Sainz is in for his second stop, and we're not even half a race distance yet. So that's going to be interesting to see. If you are watching the live stream and you're enjoying what you see, please do click that like button. Only takes a couple of seconds, really does help me out, and is very much appreciated. Ricciardo looks like he's got quite good pace here, gaining back on Fernando here. We'll just forward on at this stage, just until those gaps close up a bit, because not too much happening on track at the current time. Yeah, as I say, less than 2 months now till actual F1 is back. And I'm very excited for this season. I think it's going to be a very close 2025 season. We are in 2025, aren't we? We are. I get confused because we're in 2026 in this series. And we've only just moved into 2025 in real life. But yeah, 2025 season in real life. Very much looking forward to that. And as I've been saying, I've just got a sneaky feeling about Charles and that Ferrari this year. Prost was aggressive and he took people out to win 89. First season I watched, Prost took Senna off and made it almost impossible for him to rejoin properly, and well, he got disqualified. Yeah, that was obviously a very tasty battle between those two over the years. And of course, the instance that we had in Suzuka with them. Senna returning the favour. Turn 1. He was going to lead in that corner no matter what. Right, so we're 1.2 behind Bottas. Sainz has made his second stop. Quite a few of these ahead of us. Going to make their second stop soon. Sainz flying now. He's made that stop. Just forward on until we get close to these cars ahead of us. Ricciardo now in the DRS of Alonso. Alonso now in the DRS of Bottas and Norris. And can't quite get it done here. So we've got Lando Norris ahead of us. On soft tyres as well, but down at 40%. So we've got nearly double the tyre life than Lando.
Good job managing.
And we should have good traction out of the corner. But Lando is just staying in the slipstream of Bottas. And that's helping him pull along there. As Alonso goes for a dive. That's a bit too far back. Norris covers him off early there. But we should get the slipstream off Bottas now. So this should be job done here. And Ricciardo's going to follow him through here.
Let's go.
And Ricciardo makes loses no time there at all. So in his battle with Alonso, he doesn't want to be stuck behind a car.
Good job.
But can Alonso get this done on Bottas? No, that would have been nice for him because he could have kept Bottas as a little buffer to Ricciardo for a few laps there. We've got good battery and fuel. We're saving that until we get some clean air once we get ourselves back to 1-2 in this race. And then we'll start to push on that. I never watched it, but apparently Mansell v PK in 86 got very violent, which is why Prost won.
DRS behind.
Yeah, 86 is before my time.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah, I know quite a bit about the early 90s and then early 90s and then anything upwards of that. But yeah, before that,
Gap, 4 seconds.
I'm not going to claim to be an expert. Know the historic drivers, but I couldn't tell you what happened season in, season out. Ricciardo, though, on the inside of Bottas. So now both Alonso and Ricciardo have cleared Valtteri Bottas. And the next car up the road is going to be Leclerc. 41%, so he should be into the pits soon. Well, champions have egos. They do indeed. You probably have to have an ego to become a champion of some sort. Ricciardo, hello.
Keep looking at your
That's come out of nowhere. Danny Rick had enough of sitting there behind Fernando Alonso. And he claims P3, which is a net lead for the race. I wasn't born in 86, so I can't remember anything about it. Yeah, same, Tom. So yeah, what tyres did Sainz go on to actually here? Sainz gone back on softs. Sainz on the softs. Sainz is free stopping. He must be. He's not getting those softs to the end of the race. And Alonso back ahead of Ricciardo. So this is what we saw in the early phase of this Grand Prix. Our two teammates fighting. As Ocon's fault is just continuing to get worse. What is his issue? Gearbox issue for Ocon. Can he make it to the end of the race? Let's wait and see. Obviously, a safety car now would really help out the guys ahead. Not now, because Leclerc's boxing. But would help Tsunoda out. And we would probably box as well if a safety car happened now, because I think most of the grid would box. I was born in 82, but still not old enough to know what was going on as a child back then in 86. Yeah, it's early on. It's early on. I started watching full Formula 1 seasons in around about 96, 97.
Okay, tires are hot.
Understood.
Right, so it's just Tsunoda now then, who leads. Good old Yuki Tsunoda, and there he is, doing a stellar job in that RB this year. Ricciardo has the DRS again on Alonso, so is
We have
Ricciardo going to have a go?
behind. Alonso 5 tenths behind. Okay.
Or
head
Alonso
down,
and
keep
Ricciardo,
focusing.
sorry. We're getting confused between our drivers as Ricciardo and Alonso continue to battle side by side here. I mean, if we collide, that is just going to be, yeah, curtains really, isn't it? We're still side by side. Now we're having a drag race down here. But Ricciardo has got the toe, or has Alonso got the toe actually there?
What do you think about the
Alonso
tyres?
back into P2.
It's hanging on.
And now Ricciardo will get DRS. Has Alonso got DRS on Yuki though? He has. Bottas and Norris into the pits. Alonso on the outside of Tsunoda. Is Ricciardo going to try and follow him through again? He's gone very wide as
time.
Ricciardo.
That is okay.
Alonso through to P1 then. Ricciardo's got to clear Yuki. He's got DRS on him. But Yuki's got DRS on Alonso. So Ricciardo has to settle for P3 for now.
Yeah, increase your gap again. Press and hold the overtake.
Actually, we don't want to attack too much on
Let's
the
try to take
tyres.
opportunity.
But we can use this fuel and battery now. Ricciardo needs to clear
maximum focus
Yuki
on playing on those
Tsunoda.
rear tyres.
And he's about to, and I think he's going to get DRS to pull away because I think he got that move done after
Don't need lift off.
the detection he has. So Ricciardo, P2, so we're back to P1 and 2.
It's quite hot.
And now we're going to
Okay,
use this battery and fuel and see if we can build quite a gap then. It's 1.6, so let's just keep monitoring that gap. Again, if Ricciardo closes up to Alonso, we'll jump back on board. We don't want to miss any on-track action, of course. Tsunoda... Hulkenberg's staying out a bit too long. Oh, he's in the pits now, so that's fine. This should be the final stop for those that are out now, but all the others that are already stopped, I think they might be free-stopping here. Ricciardo nearly into Alonso's DRS. As Bortoletto's mechanical fault is getting worse, and Ricciardo is now in to that DRS.
Okay, keep it clean. Focus on the pace.
And although a McLaren fan, you have to have a soft spot for Williams back in the day, and one of the saddest declines in F1 history. Will Red Bull Racing be affected with Adrian Newey's batch? Yeah, I mean, I do like Williams because I just like the old historic teams. So, yeah, I certainly have a bit of a soft spot for Williams as well. I think they're on the right trajectory, though, now. So we'll see how they go. But I'm not expecting too much from them in 2025. It's more 2026 now with everyone, isn't it? Here comes Ricciardo then. DRS on Fernando Alonso. The Honey Badger wants to reclaim the lead. And he says thank you very much, Alonso, not defending it too hard because he knows he's going to get DRS on the start-finish straight. Red Bull, will they be affected? I think they have to be honest with you. I mean, I may be completely out of my mind, but I've kind of written Red Bull off for 2025. We'll see. Let's say I could be completely wrong on that, but if I was placing them in team order now, I'd put McLaren, Ferrari and McLaren ahead of Red Bull for 2025. As we said, Alonso's going to get that DRS straight back. And he's going to take
Copy.
the lead of this race. Alonso's going to have to pit earlier than Ricciardo, though, here. And they're battling away. Ricciardo with DRS. But yeah, if I had to predict the constructors' top four right
I
now,
don't think we can do much more.
I would probably go McLaren again. But weirdly, I wouldn't go for a Lando Oscar Drivers' Championship. As I say, I'd go for Leclerc to win the Drivers' Championship this year. But I think Lewis is going to struggle for a little while in that Ferrari, so I don't think he's going to be able to match the points of Leclerc. So therefore, I think it'll be a Leclerc Championship, but I think it'll be a McLaren Constructors, then Ferrari, Mercedes, then Red Bull. Yes, Sainz, I think, will become the team leader, I feel, at Williams. The jokes, I guess, if there's jokes like Lando and Sainz, that is going to be a great team to be at. Yes. Yeah, I think Sainz is definitely there to bit of experience. Although Albon's pretty experienced now as well. So, but yeah, they've got... You'd have to think they're going to be a lot more error-free this year, Williams.
Let's get ready.
Right, when are we stopping here then? Due to stop lap 38 with Danny Rick and lap 40 with Alonso. Okay. As Tsunoda finally pits then from P3. Sainz is going to be promoted back up to P3, but as I say, he's free stopping. So who knows how this top 10 is going to end up here. Not been the most exciting, this one. Of course, our two teammates are battling, but there's not been too much action out on track. We have that little coming together, didn't we, between Bortoletto and Lawson. But other than that, not too much going on. Yeah, Danny Rick's strategy is lap 38 here. And Alonso's lap 40, and apparently that's going to be the quickest way around here for us, so let's do that. Joe and Gasly pitting now. We're coming up to some traffic. Bortoletto's on the start-finish straight. But yeah, I just feel the Ferrari is going to be looking good in 2025, but Lewis might take a little bit of time to get up to speed with that. As Ricciardo and Alonso continue to squabble for the lead of the race then. It'll be very interesting to see how this all pans out at the end of this race. I think it's also interesting for Lewis because there are question marks of, you know, is he past it? So he's certainly got something to prove. So who knows? He might come out firing, but I just think whole new team, whole new car. He's got to get to grips with it. And it's not like he's got a rookie as his teammate or someone who's only been in who's joining the team at the same time or only been there a year. He's got Charles, who's very much the golden boy of Ferrari, so yeah, that'll be interesting to see with Lewis how it all pans out in Ferrari. Oh god, I'm just worried that our two teammates are going to take each other out here. 80% Leclerc, so we would come out ahead of Leclerc here, wouldn't we?
Head back down, we stay in the rhythm.
Sainz is really just obliterating his tyres. I don't know what kind of strategy he's on, but interesting. Verstappen 10th, Hulkenberg 11th, Piastri 12th, but I imagine they're going to go higher in the grid once all these in the top 10 have made their final stops. But we might as well attack a bit with Danny Rick here because we're going to stop on lap 38 here. Let's see if he can pull away a bit. Don't go into the back of him, Fernando.
Alonso has
Right, Ricciardo's attacking. Is it going to be enough to pull a gap on Alonso? I'm not sure it will be. Our two teammates are so closely matched around here. Formula Barca, how did you make that livery? It's so good. Just in game, but apart from the sponsors, obviously the sponsors are a mod, but everything else is in game.
They're just struggling to really push on the tile.
Lotus dominance could bore the fans. Yes, we won't be dominant for too long though, hopefully. Obviously, we are playing on the hardest difficulty, but we are updating the editor to ensure the AI teams catch us up. So if you want to check out how we're doing that, that is on the latest episode that we've just dropped on YouTube. Came out yesterday. So if you're watching this on Twitch or TikTok, head to the profile and in my bio, click the YouTube link and the latest episode in this series We'll have the highlights of the Chinese Grand Prix, but we'll also go through how we're practically going to improve the rest of the grid because, yeah, I like a challenge and I don't want to be 1-2ing every race. We want to have it mixed up and we want a challenge, so that is certainly coming. We're essentially following actual Formula 1 where, you know, teams will bring upgrade packages. So we're going to do that at 4 different stages of the season. The next being Miami in a couple of races' time. And we're essentially going to use our random generator to decide how big the upgrade is. So it'll be no upgrade, minor, standard, major, or a mega. And obviously the bigger they are, the more improvements we'll do in the database editor. So 1, it will bring the AI teams close to us, but 2, it's going to mix the grid up a bit as well. So, you know, you might have a Williams have a mega upgrade, which might leapfrog them ahead of a couple of teams. So, quite looking forward to it. But for the next couple of races, we might be dominating. We'll see. I'm also intentionally not doing near enough any design work on this car. But Ricciardo is going to stop this lap. He's not managed to pull out that second gap on Alonso. Alonso's got a couple of laps to go.
Okay, so it's closing up a little bit.
I still think McLaren will build on 2024. Aston Martin will be better, but will only improve in 26 because it normally takes Newey 2 seasons. Yeah, I don't think Newey even started with Aston yet, has he? I have in my mind April of this year, but I could be wrong on that. But I don't think he's officially even started with Aston yet. So I'd imagine Aston Martin would have just written off next season to a degree. Here we go though, Danny Rick in for his second and hopefully final stop of the race. And it's another 2.5. The team very consistent with that 2.5 stop today.
A couple of cars at the pit exits.
Is he going to clear Charles here? It's looking like he is. Here we go. Oh, no, I think Leclerc's just going to get us. Just about then. Oh, what happened there? We didn't make contact, did we? We didn't make contact, but we very nearly did. And Ricciardo would have lost a lot of time there. Look at the gap. He lost nearly a second and a half there. Is that going to feed into Fernando Alonso then?
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Who is pushing now.
And keep going with the liftoff.
And Fernando will have a little bit of a tyre advantage. Not much. He's not going to stop this lap. We're going to go in the next lap for Fernando. That was the strategy, so let's stick to it.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
Callie not want an upgrade like that of the 98 McLaren being able to lap the whole field. No, exactly. I like the races to be entertaining. I like to fight. I like the strategy to come into it. So for me, just 1-2ing at every race is not going to be great. I want to win the championship, but I want it to be a challenge. I'm like that with any game. That's why I just can't understand, you know, cheating in online, well, any video game, but especially online gaming. And yeah, I just don't get the point of cheating because you're not actually winning, are you? You're doing it by cheat. So yeah, for me, it always has to be a challenge. Oh, hello. Ricciardo's forcing a Mercedes out wide of Bottas here. Bottas all over the back of Ricciardo. Ricciardo's struggling for a bit of pace here. He's dropped 2 seconds to Leclerc. Ricciardo has been overtaken by Valtteri Bottas. So Ricciardo's struggling a bit here. Is Alonso going to get an advantage?
Keep your head down.
This could be key for Fernando because Danny Ricks looks like he's having a couple of struggles out there at the moment.
Increase liftoff.
You're going to sign Maldonado for next season, Kelly Flaps. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't decided what we're going to do yet. If we'll do a 4th season, I'll probably put it out there on YouTube for a community poll. But if the community wants a 4th season of Team Lotus, then my intention would probably to have 2 really low-rated drivers. And that might even be our 2 affiliates. Colapinto, I think he's only 72 overall, and Arvid Lindblad, he's only 18 now, and I think he's about 66 overall. So that might be the way we go for Season 4, if if we want a season 4. But what we do want is a nice clean stop for the old boy, the 44-year-old now, in this game at least, Fernando Alonso, who's making his second and final stop. Ricciardo has got back past Bottas and looks like he is now up to speed. Oh no, Fernando's got a slow stop. The pit crew have ruined it for Fernando. No. We've had such clean stops all year round, and Fernando really needed a clean one there. And that's going to cost him massively, you've got to feel. Because that was 4 seconds lost in that pit stop. And he's nowhere near Danny Rick.
So Bottas ahead. Gap 4.4. Lando behind.
And he's... Well, he's actually 7 seconds off Ricciardo, so I don't think it would have been Ricciardo anyway, but he would have been only a couple of seconds back. But now he is... Well, actually, it's a bit closer than that now, isn't it?
Keep the head down.
Yeah, we were looking at leader. Sorry, it's 5 seconds back. So, yeah, he would have been about a second behind. So, he would have been in the DRS. Batman, massive, huge. Humongous boy. And Alonso under pressure then from...
Gap 3.7.
Alonso under pressure from Lando. So this is a bit what happened to Ricciardo as we get our tyres up to temp.
6 seconds.
And Ricciardo now leads. He's past Leclerc.
And we're watching Daniel Ricciardo. It's certainly inviting.
And I think the pit crew
Press and hold the overtake.
may have just won the race for Ricciardo by having a very slow stop for Fernando Alonso. Alonso all over the back of Lando though. We're going to be forced out wide here. No, we keep on the curves. We keep the foot in. And Fernando is back past Lando.
Tyres are in good shape.
Okay.
But that has been a horrible pit stop for Fernando.
Bye-bye.
You're looking good at the moment.
And yeah, he's got to find about 5 seconds to Ricciardo. You've got to imagine Ricciardo will have it covered off because how close our teammates have been.
So back out the pace.
Right, let's just have a look. Has anyone got a stop in this top 10? No, I don't think anyone's got a stop now. Sainz... Has Sainz used lots of softs here today? Carlos Sainz, yeah, he's on his third set of softs. He's gone soft, medium, soft, softs, says Carlos. So yeah, no one got a stop. Tsunoda's on the softs at 74%.
Car behind Norris. Gap 1 second.
Can Tsunoda get up to Lando here? That'd be interesting.
Right ahead.
Cameron, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Leclerc sticking with Danny Rick here. Leclerc's not got a stop, but the tyre advantage to Ricciardo is 27%. As I say, the upgrades we have started doing, though, to the AI has definitely worked, because this race has been the closest so far. I mean, we have still got 15 laps to go, so it might still be a margin by the time we get to the end of the race, but it's definitely getting closer. So I think by the time we do that Miami upgrade package for the whole grid, we're going to have a real challenge on.
Ricciardo in front. We just keep the head down.
We've got to enjoy the success, of course. We have started on the hard... Well, we are on the hardest difficulties, and we started on the lowest settings in terms of... We started this series with $2 million, next to no facilities, and the slowest car. I think the first race of 2024, we're 2 seconds off getting through to Q2, so... We've done a pretty damn good job in 2 seasons to get to where we are. But if you play F1 Manager a lot, that is the way, really. Once you know the formula, no pun intended, then it can be easy. So that's why we're going to start to tinker with the database editor to help those AI cars develop a little bit quicker. As Ocon seemingly has had that mechanical fault all race. As is Alonso making a move here before we look at that. Fernando on Valtteri Bottas then. Need to not lose any more time, but Fernando can't get it done. Fernando is 4.2 off the lead. It's still doable. But he's going to have a lot more pace than his teammate. Come on, Fernando. You can push.
Keep your head down.
You can do it.
Let's go.
There we go, Fernando. Although Bottas
You're P3.
is going to come straight back.
Let's see what happens.
Looks like we didn't defend that.
Keep watching Alonso with this one.
On board then. DRS assisted this time with Fernando. So easy enough there. But Bottas might be coming straight back at us here. And he is. Fernando, come on. You've got to out-drag him here. Does get better traction, so we should be through the S's ahead of Valtteri. So now, yeah, about 4.3 off the lead. It's Miguel. Thanks for the follow. SQ Human Jays. Thanks for the follow. Lucas Bottas back on form. Yeah, Bottas looking a lot better this race. He's had an awful season, but he's on for his best result. 57%. Ocon retires. Ocon's fault was terminal then. As there we go. Pulls into the pits. Chan, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. So Ocon retires. So we now have 21 runners. Right, what do we got here? Yeah, so Bottas, if you're new to the series, Bottas won the World Championship in 2025, but that Mercedes, and especially Bottas, has been really struggling this year, but he'd be very much on for his best result of this season. And I think he's got a good chance of staying at least P4, really.
Understood.
My only thinking is Sonoda's on soft, so Sonoda might have a chance. Phantom Jimbo, hello, Callie, mate, you alright? All well, buddy, how are you? Batman sent you 1.4 thousand likes. Let's go, Lotus. Let's go. Thanks, Batman. Thank you, buddy. Has got a back marker getting out of the way. And the gap now to Ricciardo. Race leader is 5 seconds. As I say, I think it's going to be a very tall order here for Fernando Alonso. So 12 laps to go. And if you haven't already, do smash that like button if you're enjoying this stream. And of course, if you're a regular here, please help me out by smashing that like button. So Leclerc's dropped off Ricciardo.
1.2.
Alonso's 1.8. So Alonso, first priority here is, of course, get Charles Leclerc before we can even think about Ricciardo. But I think Ricciardo's got it covered. I mean, although it's only 5 seconds, they're, you know, same tyre life near enough. That's just going to be too much of a gap, I think, for Alonso to close. But we shall see. He's getting close to Leclerc now. Let's jump on board with Fernando.
Leclerc ahead. Gap at 1.4.
GP in the air. In the air? In the air. He's not in the air. He's in the air. He's in the ear of Alonso. Jan, go Lotus. Yes, go Lotus indeed. Come on, Alonso. Alonso should have P2 here. Pace is a lot better on Leclerc. Just trying to save his battery to see if we can push him up to Ricciardo. But yeah, I feel Ricciardo's going to have it covered. Sonoda is past Norris, by the way. We were talking about that earlier. And Sonoda is now about 5 seconds behind Bottas. So can Tsunoda get to 4th place here, or is Bottas going to hold on? Either way, Bottas, 4th or 5th, will certainly be his best result of the season. I'm sure he's only finished 9th or 10th at best this year.
0.4.
Bailey, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated.
Stay focused.
Here we go. This has got to be the moment for Fernando, though. Gets into the slipstream of Leclerc, who's looking pretty good for a podium. The Monegasque man in that Ferrari. And on the inside, even before we get to DRS, Fernando says thank you very much. But is he going to be under pressure now? Because he's given that slipstream, and now that DRS to Leclerc. And here he comes. Bit far back there, but he'll get a second bite of the cherry, of course. On this second DRS zone.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
I think we're good now, so we should be clear of Leclerc. Chan, I hope Rick wins and Alonso gets second. It's looking that way. It's 5 seconds to Ricciardo. Now we're going to use a bit of battery, but of course Ricciardo will have some battery to defend, so I think it's going to finish like this, unless we get some drama at the end of the race here.
You're doing some good time management.
I think that's the thing I would say about having 2 experienced drivers in the team as well. We've seen limited mistake. I don't think we've even seen a mistake. We had 1 mistake from Alonso in practice in Japan, but apart from that, these first 4 races, error-free. Brew, thanks for the follow. So Alonso closing that gap, but he's used a lot of the battery, so gets it down to about 4 seconds. I think that's going to be pretty much all she wrote. Porto, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Ori Peters, thanks for the follow, hope you're doing well. Got to be doing well, it's Friday, the weekend is here. 10 to go then. Has Alonso got anything in him here to close up to Ricciardo? Tsunoda still 4 seconds back on Bottas, but he's got good time. I feel Tsunoda is going to get Bottas at the end here for P4. Alessandro, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated, buddy. And Ricciardo's got some fuel to push.
No more lift-off required.
And we might as well give Ricciardo a chance at the fastest lap. We just allowed Alonso it, so it's only fair. We've got to be fair to our teammates here. Although Ricciardo, by virtue of that slow stop of the Team Lotus team, I think that's really why Ricciardo is in this position, because that delay was 4 seconds. So Alonso would be right on the gearbox of Ricciardo there. Batman, let's go, guys. We can do 16,000 likes. Thank you, Batman. He's not just cleaning up the streets of Gotham. He's out here getting likes as well. Gotta appreciate the grind. Right, let's rev up this battery then. And Ricciardo can have an attempt at the fastest lap. Can he take it off his teammate, Fernando? And there is Fernando. He can at least see his teammate. But he can only just see him. And as you see, battery depleted for Fernando. But why is Alonso so fast? Or is that AI Alonso? I mean, he is fast here, but to be honest with you, Ricciardo's just got really good smoothness. You've never played with Ricciardo in this game, and having picked him, not really knowing how to perform in F1 Manager 24, he's a pretty good driver to have. Doesn't make hardly any mistakes. He's not got all-out pace, but his smoothness just allows you can do so much more with a strategy. And he ends up in this position, and at the moment, he might be the favourite to take home the 2026 title. And he can sail off into the sunset. We're changing the Danny Rick narrative in this universe. He wasn't booted out by RB with, you know, a race or so to go. Actually, it wasn't him a race or so. That was doing, wasn't it? This was the sort of break in the latter third, wasn't it? The 4-week break we had between... was it Kota? Can't remember the break. But anyway, we're not doing that on RB. Danny Rick... Luke, you said Danny Rice, and I think I preferred Danny Rice, actually. Danny Rick Fuel, yeah, we were just pushing him for a hot lap, and he does take the fastest lap off Fernando.
A little bit of lift off where you can.
And that's pulled another 2 seconds on Fernando, so I think that's near enough. All she wrote. Whoops. No, I know what you meant, Lucas, but it does make me laugh. I like that. Danny Rice. Rice, baby. We can call him what he wants to be called at this stage, Danny Rick. This is a relaxing evening now.
It's just to confirm it's thermal dig.
I was not relaxed yesterday watching Man United, to tell you that. For my sins, that is my team, and Jesus, that was a hard watch. Do not know how we won that 3-1 in the end, but... Right, Tsunoda is 3 seconds off Bottas. Bottas, they're down at... Oh, hello. Are these going to have to stop again? We've got 7 laps. We've got 7 laps. Hamilton's at 33%. Bottas 34. Leclerc 36. I said Bottas was nailed on for a top 5 finish. Maybe not. Our tyre life is absolutely fine, isn't it? Yeah. But Bottas is going to have to go conserve here. As we go conserve on the fuel. Yeah, Bottas has got to conserve those tyres. So I think Tsunoda's going to be past him, certainly here. But we could have some punctures here. Or Bottas and Hamilton, and maybe Leclerc, are going to have to make a late pit stop. Hamilton's near enough in puncture range.
Currently P2.
So this could get interesting. So we've got a yellow flag.
Is now Leclerc. Get behind 10.
Hamilton does have to pit. As Alex Albon in the Aston Martin has a lock-up.
At the 11th corner.
Ooh, we might have a bit of excitement here at the end of this one.
Very heavy on the brakes. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that...
Alex Albon, that Aston, not great this year either. But as I say, it may change with the upgrades that are coming in Miami. So yeah, Hamilton has to pit. And he's on to fresh softs. But I think Bottas and Leclerc are going to have to. If not, they're going to be so slow. I mean, Verstappen is 15 seconds back, isn't he, there? Yeah. So they could stay out and probably still finish ahead of Verstappen, but they'll be risking a puncture. So this is going to be interesting. But Tsunoda, surely in a minute, is going to have real pace on them.
Just take cruise lift off.
Right, gap is 6 seconds. Ricciardo to Alonso. Let's... as we've got not much track action, we'll forward on, but we'll just monitor these gaps. Bottas is actually on Leclerc here. Tsunoda still 4 seconds back. Benfica, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Hope you are doing well. Bottas was in the DRS of Leclerc. He's dropped out of it now. He's now in puncture he's in puncture territory here. And look at his pace drop off now. He's in the pits. Oh, Valtteri, what has gone on at Mercedes? Where is he going to come out? I've tarnished it. Commentator's curse. I said he was going to get his best finish, top 5. But he's going to be behind Verstappen, behind Piastri, behind Hülkenberg, behind Sainz, behind Russell, even his teammate here. He will clear Lewis. Oh, dear. And there's only 4 laps left. He's not going to do much. Well, that's going to be the same for Leclerc. Tsunoda, Yuki Tsunoda could be back on the podium. I think he is. Because Leclerc is going to have to stop or he's going to get a puncture. And if he doesn't get either of those two things, he's going to be very slow. Yuki might get a podium here. Yeah, exactly, Lucas. I think he's nailed on for a podium. Leclerc down at 29%. The gap is 3 seconds. Where is Leclerc? He's here. Let's click on him so we're easier track him. Tsunoda now 1.5. Look at the time he's taking it out. We've got a yellow flag. Someone spun.
Yellow where you are?
Yep, understood.
Yuki just out of DRS as Enzo Fittipaldi has had a spin here. %. Leclerc's got to stop. He's got to stop. And he'll be out of the points. Some teams have really struggled to balance the strategy here. They really abused their tyre in the first stint, which we found odd, and we thought they were 3-stopping. But here we go. Tsunoda on the inside. Oh, it's quite timid through there. Is Leclerc going to stop? Going to have to get behind Yuki here. If he is, he's not going to stop. Oh, Leclerc, what is going on? Yuki Tsunoda. That RB is very good in his hands. And he is looking very good for a podium now. Just checking everything's here because I'm cautious. I'm not really looking after our drivers. But they're just sailing home now, 1-2. Leclerc can try and fight it back. Down to 26. I don't think he's got to pit. I'll be amazed if he gets back. If he finishes his race without a puncture. If he doesn't stop. He's not going to be catching Tsunoda now. Let's get on the tyre screen here. Leclerc, where are you? 25%. Tsunoda's now at 39%, but he should be absolutely fine. So, Leclerc's got to stop. Well, he's not going to stop now. Not this late, I don't think. Leclerc carries on. As we start the final lap then. Lucas, I think punctures only happen below 20%. 30% is where they lose a lot of performance. Okay, so he should be under pressure though from Lando Norris. 1.5. And they've not started their last lap yet. So is Lando Norris going to get past Leclerc here? He's now within DRS. DRS open then for Norris. You have to think he'll get him on the next DRS zone. Leclerc's tyres down to 22%. Absolute nightmare, but we've got to jump on with Danny Rick. Because I think a little bit lucky in terms of Alonso got a slow pit stop that was 6.4 seconds. But Danny Rick has always had the pace here today. It's very close between him and Fernando Alonso. But the Honey Badger is going to round this final corner. And just this final straight to go then. As Daniel Ricciardo is going to win yet again for Team Lotus. He wins it in Bahrain. And Fernando Alonso, his teammate, just 6 seconds behind him. Makes it another 1-2 for Team Lotus in this 2026 season. Norris is past Leclerc, but Yuki Tsunoda is going to get another podium. Yuki doing big things in the RB.
Okay, that's a checkered flag.
Verstappen is nearly on Leclerc, such as Leclerc's drop-off.
Well done, guys.
But here comes Yuki Tsunoda for another podium. It's P3 for Yuki.
Told you.
And Leclerc isn't going to get a puncture then. Just stays out of that 20% range, but his drop-off was mega there. But there we go. It's another 1-2 then for Team Lotus here. And Tsunoda joins us on the podium for the second time in 4 races.
That was a fantastic performance from Daniel
And if you haven't
Ricciardo.
already, you've got to smash the like for that to celebrate the win for the Honey Badger and the 1-2. And of course, if you're a Yuki fan, that deserves a like as well for him.
Oh, that's
There we go.
a wonderful scene. The team...
Danny Rick. Happy. And Yuki Tsunoda up 7 places. So there we have it. Ricciardo. It was Alonso who started on pole. And yeah, so they changed positions there. Lucas, are you doing another race or not? No, just the one tonight, Lucas. So we'll be back on Tuesday. Ricciardo winning, but, well, not from the pit lane no more. No, Ricciardo did love a pit lane win last year. So, yeah, Ricciardo started P2 and Fernando Alonso started on pole. So they swapped positions. So the full classification, Daniel Ricciardo wins it. It's Fernando Alonso in second. Yuki Tsunoda up 7 places to finish third. Great drive from him. And Lando Norris also up 5 to finish fourth. Leclerc dropped off at the end there, but he does still got up 2 places and finishes fifth. Max Verstappen, another one with a good drive. He's in sixth. Oscar Piastri 7th. Bottas does finish 8th. I feel that might still be his best result of the season. Sainz 9th. And Lewis Hamilton rounds up the top 10. And Daniel Ricciardo takes the fastest lap. George Russell finishing out the points. Mercedes really struggling this year in terms of race pace. They just got, well, and qualifying, but yeah, just not scoring points. So, Drivers' Championship. Ricciardo getting a little bit of a lead here early on. It's now 16 points between Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso, but our 2 drivers running away with it. But as I say, once we get to Miami, I think these drivers are going to very much be coming at us. Yuki Tsunoda holds on to P3. He's 13 points ahead of Leclerc in the Ferrari. So Yuki having a great start to this 2026 season. Leclerc in 4th, Piastri 5th, Norris 6th, Carlos Sainz 7th, Hamilton 8th, Verstappen 9th, and Valtteri Bottas 10th. So maybe he actually has had a better finish there because he's got 12 points in total. But Bottas, 12 points from the first 4 races and first sprint. The reigning world champion is very far off this title this year. So that looks like a very tough ask for him to become a 2-time world champion and back-to-back this year. Hulkenberg is 11th, Russell 12th, Perez 13th, and the rest yet to score. And interestingly, Sainz is outscoring Max Verstappen so far this year. And Constructors, as I say, at the moment, we're very dominant. So we're leading the Constructors. McLaren retain P2. Ferrari P3. RB do move up to 4th, though, beating the parent team, really. And Red Bull, 4 points ahead of Red Bull, who are in 5th. And there we go, Mercedes, just 16 points from the first 4 races and first sprint. They were the dominant car last year, so really struggling this year with the regulation changes. Williams have 2 points, and the rest of the teams yet to score. I don't think we did any quick pit stops because we had 2.5s, didn't we? And then we had a 6 point something. So yeah, nothing on the pit stops. I would say the teams are very quick this year on the pit stops, even when we have got some 2.2s in there. Not been enough to score points this year, so they are doing really good work, the other team. So we've got a bit to do on the pit stops. And there we go, we fall down another place to 10th. So work to do there, but we are working on that, of course. And there we go, race targets are met, so we get our bonus for that, race performance bonus, and Ricciardo takes a little bit of a cut due to his contract. Red Bull team switched this season. How long ago has that been a thing? The team once known as Toro Rosso finished ahead of Red Bull. Should still be Toro Rosso, shouldn't they? Come on. We must all collectively agree that is the best name for him, Toro Rosso. Lucas, almost 3 times the amount of points of McLaren in second. Yes, very dominant at the moment, but as I say, things are going to change on that front. I don't want this to be a dominant season, so things will be changing very soon. Batman, let's go. Thanks for that, Batman. Good work in there. Let's just check this chat, check them all up to date. And I know when it was. Cali, do you? 2006 was the last season that happened. Yes, that was when Seb was in the team, I believe you viewed, wasn't it? I believe when Vettel was back in Toro Rosso was when that happened. Don't take my word for it, but that's what I've got in my head. But cool, that is going to bring this one to a close. I mean, the chat has been pretty mega across all platforms there, so thanks for jumping in. As always, thanks for your support. If you're a regular supporter, many of you seeing in the chat there, I do appreciate that. Lucas there over on Twitch, you viewed on YouTube, Batman and a few others hitting about on TikTok. So enjoy your weekend. If you've jumped in for the first time, we stream this every Friday and Tuesday, so we'll be back on this on Tuesday from around about 7 7 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. Where we'll continue and we'll be in Jeddah for the next round. But if you haven't already, please do smash a like before I go. If you're watching on Twitch or TikTok, please head over to my profile and in my bio, click my YouTube link, and please do head over to there and subscribe to the YouTube channel for much more F1 Manager content than just the live streams. We get the episodes, and everything I post in the community is over on there in YouTube as well. But yeah, that's going to bring this one to a close. So very dominant at the moment. But as I say, once we get here to Miami, so after this next race, we're going to be doing another upgrade package for every team on the grid using the database editor. So that's going to bring them even closer to us. So I'm excited to see that and have a bit of a challenge on our hands for the rest of this season. But once again, thanks for all the support. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subs. And thanks for the follows. We'll be back on Tuesday to continue this Team Lotus series. And hopefully I shall see you there.